I'm Noreen and welcome to my kitchen, and today we're going to make some biscuits, some sour cream biscuits. This is a take on the traditional light and fluffy buttermilk biscuit, but today we're not going to be using buttermilk. We're going to be using sour cream and a few other ingredients to make the most delicious, light, flaky, and beautiful biscuits. So let's go see how we put these together. Alright, we're going to go over the ingredients for these sour cream biscuits, and my thought process for this is, you know, maybe people don't have buttermilk on hand but they want to make some biscuits, and you can make biscuits with just about anything, but we're going to use some sour cream and some milk to make these a little tangy instead of the buttermilk, and they're going to be great. This recipe is a large recipe. You can easily cut it in half with no problem. We're going to use 4 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to use 2 sticks of butter that I have cubed and that is cold. It's been in the refrigerator. I have a cup of sour cream, a cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt, and a tablespoon of granulated sugar. And this is really simple. We're just going to get right to it. We're going to go ahead and add our flour to our bowl, and then I'm going to add all of these dry ingredients in here. The salt, the baking soda, the sugar. You can leave the sugar out if you like. And the baking powder. I'm going to give this a stir. You can use a whisk or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just get that all incorporated. Now I'm going to go ahead and toss my butter in here. Now what I like to do anytime I make a biscuit is to get those cold butter cubes in that flour and toss them around so that they'll stop clumping together. And you can cut this butter in however you like. A lot of people like to use their hands. A lot of people like to use 2 butter knives. This to me is the magic tool that makes making biscuits super easy and perfect. And I'm just going to cut my butter into my flour until it resembles coarse meal, small peas, coarse crumbs, whatever you want to decide to call it. Alright, we got our butter cut into our flour, and you can see how it kind of does look like cornmeal, and there's some lumps of butter in there, and that's fine, because that's what you want when you make a biscuit. And then I've just put my sour cream and my milk into this measuring jug, and I'm whisking it together just to make it a little bit easier to get everything in the bowl. So then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pour all of that right in there. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a toss with my fork. I always do this. Every time I make biscuits, I always use a fork to stir everything together. And it's going to look really shaggy, and that's what you want. And it's at this point that you're going to assess if you need more liquid. Don't try and put too much liquid in here, because I'll tell you why. You want this to be a sticky looking mess. And then what we're going to do is we're going to clear, and we're going to pour this out onto our board, and we're going to laminate our dough so we have beautiful flaky biscuits. Okay, we're going to just dump our dough right out here onto this board that I have liberally floured with some additional all-purpose flour. And I'm just going to put my bowl off to the side. Okay, now you can get your hands in here, get a liberal amount of flour on the top, and what I like to do is just press it out and kind of get it all into one mass. Then this is where your bench scraper comes in. Kind of fold the dough into itself, and that's where the magic is going to start to happen, because this dough is going to start to become one cohesive mass. And what you're doing in turn, as you press down and you fold the dough in on itself, you press down again, you fold the dough in on itself, just like this. And you use your bench scraper to help you do that. And if you think you have too much flour hanging out, and just push it off to the side. You should always have a little more bench flour available than you think you need. And I like to do this at least 4 times. And then what I like to do is flip it over, give it a good press out, and then we'll grab our cutter and we'll start making biscuits. That's what makes the flaky layers. Okay, I've rolled and cut my biscuits and I'm just finishing up. So far I have 12, 15, and then we have this end piece here. And you know, when you get down to the end, you kind of can't be choosy. So just do as best you can. And then when you get down to this bit here, this is what they call Cook's Treat, or sometimes I've heard it referred to as the cat head biscuit. What I like to do is just, it's gonna be really big and ugly, and I like to just take it and press it right on in there. I actually could probably make 2 of those. I'll cut it. And it's not gonna be as flaky, and you know, do the best you can. That's the one you use to test to make sure that you've made delicious biscuits and nobody has to know, okay? So what we're gonna do now is pop these in a 350-degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes, or until you can smell them and they look golden brown on top. Then we're gonna go ahead and melt a few tablespoons of butter to brush on top when they come out, and we'll be back when it's time to do that. All right, our biscuits are ready to come out and they smell amazing. And they look pretty good too. I just melted a little more butter because, you know, more butter, more better. Just brush the tops. This makes them nice and soft. You can serve these right this way, but I'm going to be serving these as part of my dinner, and we're going to be serving cream chicken over top of these. We'll bring you back in just a bit, and I'll show you what these look like when they're cracked open. All right, there you have it. Our biscuits are all ready to have with our supper, and I promised you that I would open one up for you and have a look. Look at how beautiful they are. That's just waiting for some butter, or I don't know.
Sausage gravy.
Sausage gravy is not what you're getting tonight, but we're gonna have these with some cream chicken tonight. But just to show you what they look like, I'm gonna go ahead and slather this one with some of my homemade peach jam. That's a beautiful thing right there. You want a bite?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
So that is how you make delicious sour cream biscuits. You can serve them any way you want, with whatever you want, but no matter how you make them, when you make them, these are going to disappear. I absolutely promise. I want to thank you for joining me today and watching how I made sour cream biscuits. If you liked the video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you're not already, please be sure and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on all the real food for real people, real easy recipes that we present every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on our YouTube channel and straight from our kitchen. I hope you give these sour cream biscuits a try sometime soon, and I hope you love them. And until next time, I'll see ya. All right, this has been cooking for about 15 minutes, maybe. What do you think? 15, 20 minutes? And I've been stirring it every few minutes, and you can see that it is starting to get nice and thick. It's beautiful. Now here's the one thing I want to tell you. Because for me, this recipe is still a work in progress,